Hi everyone, it's Colette here and I'm sitting with Kathy Walker, who's an education consultant, and she's released this fantastic book called What's the Hurry, and it addresses raising your children from preschool and so forth. Now, what does the book actually cover?
It's a book really about giving parents permission to slow down, to not have to feel that their child has to be overscheduled in swimming, gym, music, ballet every night of the week, that you don't have to have friends over every night, that maybe just slowing down a bit, not being too anxious about having them expert everything by the age of 5 or 6.
Now, where has childhood gone in a sense? I mean, are young kids now being treated like adults and not being treated as kids?
Yes, I'm very concerned about that. I'm concerned that, for little girls you can buy padded bras, camisoles, little children as young as 3 and 4 being dressed like teenagers. I think that we are portraying children as much older than they really are. And I often say, that children who are born now are the same, they have the same brain, the same development, the same needs as they did 50 years ago. The world might have changed, the environment might have changed, but children and childhood is still childhood. And I think we really do need to hold on to that and value things like play and the simple things about being at home.
So we don't treat our children like adults. What can parents do to change that and not kind of conform to how the world's changing?
I think we have to be careful on a number of fronts. I think we have to be careful about how much TV children watch and the nature of that. I think we have to ensure that they give their children opportunities to be at home and to do the ordinary things like playing out in the backyard, building cubbies with cardboard boxes.
Whatever happened to cubby houses?
I don't know. I think we've become so sophisticated now. I think we think we've got to be in front of a computer or a Game Boy, or that everything's got to be really sophisticated. And I think a return to the simple things are very important. Researchers say that when adults are asked, what do you remember about your childhood? Adults say things like, I remember the family outings, being at the beach, having picnics, all those kind of ordinary things. They don't tend to remember the gym class that they went to when they were 5 years of age.
Now, is it really important to balance then the co-curricular activities with schooling and teaching your children how to speak, write and so forth?
Yeah, I think so. I think a balance is really important. I think that certainly literacy and numeracy is important, but I think at home, even things like sitting around the meal table. Apparently Australia is only second to the United States now in not sitting around a table. We're all sitting in front of other shows, watching TV and eating dinner and not actually having conversation. So I think that the balance in life at home is certainly to be reading to our children, playing with them, talking to them, encouraging them to do homework if they've got homework to do, but actually slowing the pace and just enjoying being with them.
Fantastic. Now, that's a really good point. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, we did have the family dinners and so forth, and then when my sister was born with a 9-year difference, we stopped doing that in a sense. We just didn't do that. And I think that's quite sad.
I think it is. I think it's harder. I think we're all working longer hours. We have much more shift work. We have lots of different activities to do, and so often we do feel a bit like we're on a conveyor belt, and when do you get off and when do you get back on again? And it is harder, I think, sometimes for families to come together regularly and just enjoy being with each other and having that nice time together. But I think it's really a priority. I often say that the emphasis that we put on literacy and numeracy is great, but I think we need to put equal emphasis on just being able to have time together as a family.
Do you think parents are concerned that if they send their child to school and they can't read and write, that they feel like they've let their child down in a sense, that they put that so much pressure on, reading the books and learning the maths and without relaxing a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's enormous pressure placed on parents. There's a real message out in the community that our children are not as literate as they should be, that there are huge expectations for children in their first year of school, and so I think parents get caught up in that, understandably, and wanting what's best for their children, but not necessarily perhaps thinking, well, my role in the preschool years is not to get them ready for school as much as let them have a childhood. And then when they get to prep, the prep teachers can do the things that they need to do.
Now, the book actually addresses all the topics we've talked about and actually summarises everything, so it helps parents understand in further detail. Now, if you pop onto the website www.kidslife.com.au, you'll find a link to Kathy's website, and it'll give you lots more details about your presentations you do also.
That's right, yeah. Most evenings we do public presentations on those sorts of topics.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me, Kathy.
You're welcome.